grasp, my sure step. I'm no match for time. It's no contest. My face shows severe ravages of time, even in the last 6 months. I bought a bunch of moisturizing cream and layered my face day and night with it. Brother Mangun looked at me and said it didn't work. I looked back at him and said, whatever you're doing, it isn't working either. So glad that sweet thing is here today. But there's something time cannot take from us. 70 plus years ago, we sold out to God, His cause, His purpose, souls, and His church. Age cannot wither that. I'll take every wrinkle I have to the judgment. What we are and what we've done, we will take it into eternity. I will make His modus operandi my way of life and keep my eye on the sign-marked exit, because I don't have too many more curtain calls. And I don't think many of you do either. We're going home. And by the way the land is laying, I think I'd be safe in saying, over the next hill, we'll be home. Over the next hill, we'll be home. Over the next hill, we'll be home. But before we go to that celestial wedding and the beginning of God's eternal enterprise, I must stand at the judgment seat of Christ. And if I haven't done well, He can't say well done. It won't be a shouting at the B-O-T-T then. It'll be standing just one, at the judgment seat of Christ. There is an exit, a finish, there is a close. What should consume me? What passions will not betray me? What hopes are solvent? What pleasures are expedient? What dedication is proper? I can come to my senses too late with too little. Jesus wrote a record to show me how much can be put into such a short period. He unswervingly made the will of the Father, the eternal Spirit, the purpose, the cause of His life. He prayed, "Oh God, I came to do Thy will. I came to wear my heart on my sleeve." That will be my modus operandi. He called it His meat. He said, my meat is to do the will of Him that sent me and to finish His work. I came to seek and to save that which was lost. It sustained Him. And He said, as I have been sent, so send I every one of you. Then He breathed on them and said, receive ye the Holy Ghost. You can't do what I'm talking about without the Holy Ghost. Your church can't do it. You might as well have a shutdown sometime and just have a good old Holy Ghost rally and get everybody filled with the Holy Ghost, or you won't have a revival. You won't have anything what I'm talking about. There's got to be travailing, and when Zion travails, praying in the Holy Ghost, say, souls will be born. I can snatch my family like this man stood up here and told you. That's brought in I don't know how many churches. That touched me. Wear your heart on your sleeve and not your feelings. Make it your modus operandi, your way of life. You can lead. You can lead. You can lead. Please rise above the normal and be a leader that can lead into prayer, into the Bible, into soul winning, and into reaching our cities. Let your people see you weep for the lost in intercessory prayer. Teach them to pray from the youngest to the oldest. Prepare them, equip them with every spiritual gift for doing God's will. We will answer to God at the judgment seat of Christ if we don't do it. You should canvass this question well. What's it all about? Somebody's lost and going to hell, and I ask you, who cares? If men go to hell in your city, who cares? If you're the church in your city, does your church care? I'm driving down Rapides Avenue probably 2 months ago, and God spoke to me clearly. I'm not saying it was audible. It was so clearly until I began to weep uncontrollably. He said, don't let Clara Clark's investment in her daughter Peggy be lost. I wept and wept and wept. I went to Larry, one of the greatest soul winners in this church. I went to Jerry, her other son, who drives a bus route in this church. I went to Carolyn, who is a prayer warrior and fast often. I went to them and I said, Peg is not going to be here long. God spoke to me and he told me not to lose Clara's investment. I'm asking you all to join me. And they listened. 3 weeks later, Peggy was smitten. They never could do anything about it. She began to get better. She called for Brother Mangun to pray for her. We went up there. She looked, I didn't even recognize Peggy. When he prayed for her and went out, Peggy began to eat a little bit more, and she began to get a little bit better. She was going to go back to her own old way of life. But God said, no, you're not going back. He knocked her down again until that girl died, saying, Mama, come and get me. I'm turned now. Come and get me. And Carolyn told me, said, Sister Mangun, when I saw her fixing to get up and go back her old ways of life, the Lord spoke to me and said, it's not easy to recover somebody that's been out there, and they've been so deep out there, it's not easy to get them and pull them back again. It's going to take prayer and fasting and travailing. I'm begging every one of you, if you've got a prodigal son or daughter, to join me, and I will help you pray for them. I'm asking you, if you've got a church that people have walked out on you, and you feel hurt and you feel burdened, I'm telling you, if you'll come to me, I'll join you. Do you know we can break this thing? Do you know we can reach our children? Do you know we can have revival in our churches where they've walked out, and we can have more than we ever had before they ever walked out? I believe that God's doing something in this conference that's going to change every church in the United Pentecostal Church. We're going to have revival like we've never had revival among our family, among our children, in our city. We're going to have revival in the name of Jesus. At the end of our lives, unsupported by spouse, friend, or attorney, each one of us must one day stand before Jehovah, Brother Tenney, Jehovah's awful throne. That's what Isaac Watts called it, Jehovah's throne. The blazing eyes of the King of Kings, the one John saw on the Isle of Patmos and fell at his feet as dead. Those same eyes will pierce each one of us, and our impeccable record will interpret the life of each one of us. Now, if you want to go there with the way you are today, but I'm telling you, there's a few more I want to reach before I go. There are a few more prayers I want to pray before then. There are a few more things that I want to do. We will not be judged by how many positions or businesses or titles or diplomas we have received, how much money we've made, or how many great things we've done. We will be judged by, I was hungry and you gave me to eat. I was naked and you clothed me. I was homeless and you took me in. I was hungry for not only bread, I was hungry for love. I was naked not only for clothing, but I was naked for human dignity and respect. I was homeless not only for want of a house of wood or bricks, but I was homeless because of rejection. That's Jesus Christ in distressing disguise. And you can't be like Jesus unless your heart is broken and bleeds for others, your family, your church, your world. You better start wearing your heart on your sleeve and not your feelings, and go to persuading men. Showcase Him, display Him, advertise Him, witness Him, be like Him, live like Him, walk like Him. He went about doing good, healing and saving and forgiving and restoring and